What's up, everybody? How's it going today? This is a video to ask my subscribers for a little bit of advice on film and developing, and this would probably go to the old schoolers, but I would say maybe some of the young schoolers who are getting back into the vintage photography would have a good answer. I'm looking for a place to develop film. Now, I was just watching a video about somebody who arranged to work with the company in, it turned out to be Portland, Oregon, which is, my town. I live in Vancouver, Washington, across the bridge, but there's a place, I guess, called Blue Moon, who's a developing company. I haven't looked into it yet. I thought before I get too far into this, I want to ask you guys your advice. I mean, if even a couple hundred people are out there, maybe one of you know what would be my best approach to this. Now, what I have is this. I've been carrying these around with me for about 20 years or longer. Some of this is film, okay? First off, I have tons of these. And these little cameras have dates on them. Most of them say about 2005 to 2006, so they're about 15 years old or longer. This was when my oldest son, was about 8 to 10 years old, and we took him on trips to Montana, to California. We went on several vacations. This was before digital cameras were publicly available, or at least quality enough, or cheap enough to afford. And I know a lot of you younger kids who grew up with cameras, it's just, you've always known the ability to take pictures. These were a godsend to us, to be able to buy these at a store on our trip. The thing was, developing was expensive. It was a it was a hassle, not a harassment. Oh, I said harass because subconsciously, I'm going to tell you a story. A friend of mine brought one of these over one day after he went snowboarding, and he came back. He stopped by my house on his way back home. This was about 2006, around this time. No, maybe 2008 to 10. I happened to be growing cannabis at the time. He took a picture of my garden, and I told him, you shouldn't do that with a disposable camera because you're going to get it developed and you might get shit from it. They might call the cops. He said, oh, don't worry about it. I don't care. A week later, the SWAT team, he went to get it developed. The people at the store called the cops. Cops went to his house, saw condensation on the inside window and thought he was growing in his bedroom. So they kicked his door in, basically. A SWAT team and everything, full blown. He had nothing. They had nothing, maybe a pipe or something, because he didn't grow pot. It was mine. And at that time, I freaked out. I'm going into a story that really is irrelevant to this, but all of these little cameras have these moments of time on them, and I really want to get them developed. The reason why I didn't get them developed and why I told you that story, in the past when cannabis was illegal here, I was afraid to get these developed because I didn't know what was on them. And I thought there might be a picture of me even a few years ago smoking weed or maybe standing by somebody's pot plant. And I was afraid that if I got it developed, I'd get in trouble. Now it doesn't matter. It's legal. And plus, this is, they're 15 years old. But some of these, like this stuff, these old Fuji films, I have several of the cameras, but I also have a bunch of these, like Western Family film rolls. And I think these are from mid to late 90s. And there's quite a few in here. And on them is, what I'm looking for is a picture of me in my Volkswagen bus. I only have like one of them. But also perhaps maybe some of my trips to Dead shows or to various concerts and events. And if you think about it, we take it so for granted that we have photos available to us and cameras always on us. There was a time when it was a little more complicated and a little more expensive, so you really had to know what you were shooting before you would just point and shoot. And to this day, some of the greatest photographs I have are still from even these disposable cameras, because shooting on film has always been superior to digital, in my opinion. Those are my thoughts on it. Really, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think? Do any of you know a developer or any way to do this that is affordable? I had one thought. I thought about this Blue Moon company and how they did a project, I guess, with this other guy, and I thought, if I could find a company that would develop my film if I documented the whole process, because I want to make a YouTube video out of it to like reveal and show everybody the pictures, because, to kind of unfold with, so you can all see it with me. And I thought, well, if I could find a company that would do that for the exposure, right? So I make a documentary, they develop the film for free, and then I mention their company and give them props. That's one of the very few types of like promotions I guess I would do, because it would be worth it to me. It's a good trade-off. I don't know. Let me know what you all think. And maybe some of you know better than I do. Talk to y'all later.